Be wrapping up the evening here. Well, not really wrapping up the evening anytime soon, but I wanted to go live for a few minutes and talk about how to calculate calories for weight loss. And I need something to write on. So I'm gonna get my laptop really quick. But most of the time when I see people trying to lose some weight, one of the biggest mistakes is either completely starving yourself and just cutting way back on the food that you're eating. And then honestly, that's just not a sustainable approach because the truth is, like, if you're going to be losing weight and make it sustainable long term, then the big thing is it's like, okay, you have to still eat some food. You can't just not eat food because it's just your life is going to be completely miserable. So what I see people mess up on when they're trying to figure out how to start losing weight is just cutting completely back on foods that, or just on food in general. Then the next thing that I see where a lot of people go wrong is typically people will start to eat a bunch of salads and different things like that. And again, salads are great, don't get me wrong, but if you don't like salads, well then probably don't eat them, to be completely honest. And this is where, again, I don't eat salads, and it's like if I want to lose weight, I can lose weight. But again, I can't stress enough, if you are trying to lose weight, well, don't continuously consume foods that you don't like. But if you're looking at how do you start to calculate calories if you are going to lose some weight, biggest thing that you have to automatically do if you're looking at trying to lose some weight, you have to make sure that you know what your goal weight actually is. So if you're wanting to lose, let's say you're wanting to lose some weight, maybe you weigh 200 pounds right now and you're wanting to drop your weight down to 150 pounds. Well, then the goal weight's 150 pounds. So you have to establish what that goal weight is, because if you don't pick what the goal weight is, then it's going to be very hard to just calculate the overall calories correctly. Again, you could do portion control and maybe not actually calculate the calories out, but it's not going to be one of the best things that you actually do. So if you're wanting to lose some weight, find your goal weight first. What's up? How are you doing? What's up? What's up? So again, like I can't stress this enough. If you're trying to lose weight, pick the goal weight. You got to pick the goal weight. So the example I'm going with is, let's say you're 200 pounds, you want to get down to 150 pounds. Well, when it comes to just losing weight, you have to really look at, do you have more than 60 pounds to lose or less than 60 pounds to lose? If you're trying to just calculate your overall calories that you need to take in to lose the weight, if you have more than 60 pounds to lose, you're going to take 10 to 12 calories times your goal body weight. So let's take this example. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, I weigh 200 pounds, which I weigh 205. No, I do not play Roblox, or however you say that. That was actually a question I got asked on a live not too long ago. And I don't. And I still need to look into that because I told the guy that I would. So I'm going to write that down. But let's say I'm wanting to I weigh 200 pounds. Let's say I'm wanting to drop down to automatically 140. Let's just call it 130 pounds. So automatically, if I'm wanting to drop down to 130 pounds, well, then that comes out to be 70 pounds to lose. So in this case, since I have more than 60 pounds to lose, I'm going to take 130 pounds, since that's my goal weight, and times it by 11 calories, which comes out to 1,430 calories. So the calories that I would be consuming on a daily basis to lose weight would be 1,430 calories. If I hit that every single day, I would lose weight. So again, if I weigh 200 pounds, wanted to get down to 130 pounds, I have 70 pounds to lose. So I'm going to take 10 to 12 calories times my goal body weight, 130 pounds. So when you're calculating calories, well, again, remember the big thing is it's like you have to remember that if you have more than 60 pounds to lose, well, you're going to take 10 to 12 calories times your goal body weight. Now, if you have less than 60 pounds to lose, then what you're going to do is take your current body weight and times it by 10 to 12 calories. So let's say I weigh 200 pounds, I want to get down to 180 pounds. Well, that's less than 60 pounds I have to lose. So I would just be taking 200 pounds times 10 to 12 calories. So if I take 200, I'm doing this on my laptop, times 11, that's 2,200 calories. So that, when it comes down to that, that would be the calories that I have to hit. Super, super simple. So when it comes to calculating the overall calories, when it comes to weight loss, most people just overcomplicate it. Most people don't even do it to begin with. They, like I was saying at the beginning of the live, they either completely cut out the food that they're eating and completely starve themselves, or they just start to eat a bunch of food that they don't like. For instance, I see most people when they're trying to lose weight, they will eat just like kind of crazy stuff. It's like chicken and rice and things like that. And I'll show y'all some of the stuff that's up in my cabinet right now. No, I do not have a son. But I have different things like dried mango for really good snacks. Also, popcorners. I don't know if y'all have heard of, if y'all have tried popcorners. Popcorners are really, really good. Again, they're not high in protein. They're going to be higher in carbs. But again, I'll consume stuff like this. There's like graham crackers up here, peanuts. Even my meal prep for this week is pretty good. It's meatballs and then also rice. And then I do overnight oats quite a bit. So I'll actually show y'all really quick what it looks like.
Who makes it?
My wife makes it. Because I am not going to take the time to cook stuff like this, even though it doesn't take a lot of time. But this is a lunch for the week. It's really freaking good. So stuff like that. But previously, before my wife was making food, when I was doing my own meal prep, I still kept things relatively simple. I would typically do like beef, rice, toss some seasoning on it, and I would typically toss in some sweet potato fries, which is really good. Also, in here we have chocolate covered strawberries. So when it comes to this, like, keep the meals simple. Don't eat stuff that you just absolutely despise, because most people, when they're trying to lose weight, will do that, like I was saying. So they'll either starve themselves, try to eat foods that they don't like, and just keep forcing it. Again, you can't force it. If you're forcing it, you're not going to be successful with your journey. But you got to make sure that you still have a good idea of how many calories that you need to take in to actually be in a caloric deficit, which just means you are burning more calories than you're taking in on a daily basis, which would make the number on the scale go down. So with this, it's very, very simple at the end of the day, but most people, just being completely honest, do not want to take the time to do it. So very simple. That's how you calculate calories if you're going to be losing weight. If you have questions on it, let me know. Other than that, I will see y'all tomorrow.